Good evening, South Mississippi. Doing a little update here for Hurricane Sally, just in case you missed our newscast through the evening. Just a quick couple of minutes here to catch you up on what's going on, and it's entirely possible that we won't be doing too many more of these updates as things do seem to be increasingly getting in South Mississippi's favor. And that being with the last update, Tropical Storm Sally's new path now pushing even further to the east, almost completely out of Alabama at this point. Now, it did strengthen some, which was a trend we were seeing kind of right at the end of the last update cycle. It weakens quickly, though, still expecting that landfall to happen right around 7 o'clock tomorrow morning, and now that is going to be much closer towards Pensacola. So the last red line track was right around here in the Mobile Bay area and has since jumped all the way across the bay and towards the panhandle of Florida here just west of Pensacola. Now, it did increase from about 80 or 85 to now 90-mile-per-hour winds when that happens, so increasing slightly, but that's still less than what it was as we were looking at it yesterday, where it seemed to be inching towards Category 3 status. But this has been a very challenging storm for forecasters. I mean, not just me, all across the country. So looking outside right now in Jackson County, this is where most of whatever impact we do get is going to occur. You're already starting to see those outer bands starting to move in, so some light rain right now, some wind gusting upwards of about tropical storm force right now, and that's extending almost into Gulfport. So we are starting to see this moving in, but I feel there is a little bit of fatigue too, because we've been talking about it for so long. It seems like it's just been waiting, but it's just came to a stop just to the south of us. So it's just been sitting out there, churning moisture, shooting these bands off towards Alabama into Pensacola area. So it's been raining there all day. We've seen some gusts pick up from about 10 miles per hour up to 24 for where we are now for those sustained winds, gusts a little bit higher than that. Gulfport 37, that is in excess of tropical storm force. We're now getting close to 50 there, or beyond 50 in Mobile, so closer to hurricane force. As that storm starts moving in, you're very likely getting those hurricane force now in this area, which just don't happen to have a anemometer there for those winds. So looking at the tropical alerts, things are starting, I mentioned, to improve for South Mississippi. We're seeing those watches and warnings dropping off, just like this one here for Hancock County. That was a hurricane warning yesterday, now tropical storm. Wouldn't surprise me to see that fall off completely as we head into tomorrow. That's what happened to Pearl River County, and that's what we're kind of seeing happening to some of these other areas. I believe Hattiesburg was included in it yesterday, and now that has inched further and further east. So the warnings are shifting. Storm surge warning. Now, I've been trying to verify whether or not this was a mistake, but our storm surge warnings have since dropped off on all of the maps and even the ones on the internet that I'm using. Still for Mobile Bay and Pensacola area, and still for Pontchartrain, New Orleans, and Plaquemine. So I'm not sure why exactly that happened, but I do know that our values have fallen. I haven't been able to update this one just yet, but these are now 1 to 3 feet for storm surge. So at the highest end, we're looking at kind of coming up towards Highway 90. Now, this will be happening right around the time near sunrise when our high tide is coming in, so that will increase a little bit, but we're still looking at some pretty low numbers, so nothing too significant out of that. But of course, any storm surge, you can damage piers, you can damage the boat launches and things of that nature, so there will be damage undoubtedly, but not on the scale of what I believe many people are expecting. So one other thing here, we just had the flash flood watch, just lost Stone County. That's the newest update there, it seems. So we're still, again, everything slowly inching off away from us, and the more and more that happens, the less likely or the less compelled I'll feel to continue to update on these situations as they're going, because it's looking better and better. Earlier we were seeing, just yesterday we were seeing upwards of a foot in the Pascagoula area, and now with the latest updates dropping down to below 1.5 inches for that rainfall total, taking us all the way into Thursday morning at about 5 o'clock in the morning, while all of that continues to push off. Looking at these other models, they're right in line with that. Gulfport, a little bit over 1/4 inch there. Pascagoula, just under 1.5 inches, so holding pretty steady there as well. Gulfport just under 3. And then the GFS here picking up on a little bit more, Mobile closer to 6, and then you can see where the real high totals are going to start piling up there. And this area has already seen quite a bit of rain. It wouldn't surprise me if it's already seen that much. So that's one thing we're going to continue to be watching with all of these situations. Obviously, Things are improving, but we're still going to see some pretty breezy gray conditions for the next couple of days. Then it starts to slowly taper off, and as we start heading through the weekend and into next week, we'll get some drier, cooler air and, of course, some sunshine too.